Wafa.
Thank you, Sabrina. I have two questions.
Sure.
First on Iraq. According to very trusty sources, Iraqi sources, Iran-backed groups are manufacturing drones and managing their operations against Israel from Sinjar. Do you have any indication that confirms this? And also, do you have indication that Israel is getting closer to target or attack these groups in Iraq?
I don't have anything on Israel. I would refer you to them to speak to what they plan to do or any operations. In terms of IMG groups within Iraq, I mean, we've certainly seen them launch, attacks at U.S. forces, but also attacks towards Israel. In terms of what you're referencing in like production or things like that, I don't have any confirmation of that happening in Iraq. What I can tell you is that Iran continues to supply these groups with what we've seen, whether it be drones, ammunition. Iran is arming its proxies. How they do that and by what means, I mean, that's coming from Iran. But in terms of manufacturing facilities, I don't have more for you on that.
Okay, on Lebanon, since the United States recognizes Lebanon as a sovereign country, and tomorrow, by the way, is Lebanon Independence Day, does this department believe that the Lebanese armed forces have the same right as Israel to defend themselves, particularly after being targeted directly in recent days and losing more than a dozen of soldiers?
We certainly are concerned by those reports. I mean, Lebanese armed forces are there to also protect their own citizens. We have trained and equipped those forces to fight the threat of Hezbollah. But again, I mean, Israel conducting operations on that northern border to weed out Hezbollah, which, continues to launch rockets towards Israel on an almost daily basis. So what we certainly want to see is those LAF forces, protected and not get caught in the crossfire. And we've made that clear to our Israeli counterparts.
Do they have the right to defend the country, to defend themselves, particularly in the context of a potential ceasefire deal between Israel and Lebanon?
Well, if there's a ceasefire deal, there would be a cease to fighting. So, of course, we wouldn't want to see fighting on either side. And just to that point, we have people in the region right now that are continuing to push forward for a ceasefire deal to be put in place. And I'll say, we are working up to the last, the final months of this administration. We're going to continue to push every single day. But ultimately, as you mentioned, what's going to bring, peace and allow people to return to their homes on that northern border is a ceasefire.